So a friend of mine asked me how to get good guitar tone without actually spending any money. So this is a tutorial on that. So let's get started. First off, you're going to need to download these things. Here's some links, and they'll also be in the description. First thing we're going to do is make 6 channels. The first one's just going to be a folder to hold all the guitar channels. The second one's going to be a rhythm channel for the left. Third one's going to be a rhythm channel to the right. Fourth one's going to be a solo. We're going to have another one for reverb and another one for delay. Alright, let's do that. Okay, cool. Next we're going to track. Okay, for one rhythm track I recorded completely with the neck pickup, and for another rhythm track I recorded completely with the bridge pickup. Okay, and they'll sound something like this. Pretty underwhelming. Next thing we're going to do is going to pan hard right one rhythm track and pan hard left the other rhythm track. After that, we're going to start adding effects. We're going to emulate how you do a real guitar. We're going to have pedals first, to an amp, into a cab, and then some post EQ. For the pedals in the guitar chain, I used a TS999, which is a tube scream emulation, until an LEXTAC, which is a Wagner emulation. And after that, I went into a cab 2, which is an impulse response, which we're going to use to emulate a cab. And on that, this is the impulse I used. All of that together sounds like this. And I followed a similar process on the other channel. I just used a different impulse response. Together. On the solo channel, I used a completely different amp because I wanted it to stand out from the rhythm tracks. I still used the TS99 to boost that. The amp I used was the LE456. I also used a different impulse. All that together sounds pretty good. So in the mix, the next thing we're going to do is add ambience. We're going to start with adding a delay track to the solo channel. So just using an out-of-the-box Reaper delay, which was the Tempo Ping Pong, this is what it sounds like. Cool, and I added an EQ just to roll off the lows and cut a little bit so it doesn't clash with the actual channel. Then added just a little bit of stereo width on the delay channel. So the solo channel with the delay sounds. Cool. The next ambience effect we're going to add is reverb, and this will be for all the guitar channels. On your reverb channel, make sure it's set to 100% wet and 0% dry. I also rolled off the highs and lows on this, so this is what it sounds like. It's a pretty subtle effect, but it can add some depth to your guitar tracks. So all that together with the mix. Alright, sounds pretty good. So what we're going to do next is add post EQ to all the channels. So this is the EQ I did on one of the rhythm channels. On the lows, I rolled off around 80 Hz, and on the highs, I rolled off around 13K. I also did a little bit of a boost around 800 to 900 Hz, and I did a tiny cut around 300. This is what it sounds like with the EQ off. Sounds pretty decent. Let's put the EQ on. It just tightens it up and adds a little bit of snarl to it. On the other rhythm channel, I followed a similar process, except I just cut the highs and the lows. This is with the EQ gone. This is with the EQ on. So it just gets rid of some of that rumble and some of the hiss. So together, cool. On the solo channel, I did a pretty different EQ. I rolled the lows a lot higher, and I actually boosted the highs. I did some work here in the mids, because I wanted to emulate sort of what a vocal EQ would have, because I don't want this clashing with the rhythm track. So this is without the EQ. With the EQ. It's a little bit warmer, so it can still cut through the mix without being harsh. So all the guitar tracks together with the EQ on. Cool, and now in the mix. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to post in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you want me to go in more detail, please let me know. We can do a more detailed tutorial later. Take care.